you sort of straddle East and West as Turkey straddles East and West.
The things that Turkey was politically preoccupied with, that of tradition, challenges of tradition and westernization, turn out to be problems of whole world in a way, especially after 9/11 and Islam accent into it. Perhaps one reason for this. Second reason, again, all the issues of how to come to terms with modernity, post-modernity, modern world, global world, and tradition is not only a Turkish issue, is now a global issue, perhaps one reason. The second is that once your country is politicized internationally, they immediately, even if you only write Proustian or Nabokovian, Borgesian fictions, it is inevitable that once you have international recognition, people begin to look at it because they look at it as a part of Turkey, also look at it politically. And more politics are imposed on me, not only from outside only, but also from Turks also. Because then, now that I'm internationally a bit quite known writer, they also are worried about problems of representation, which makes you more political than I really want to be.
Well, you got hauled into court for something you said in an interview.
And then, in order to, you fight back saying that, look, I'm not political, that political, and you fight back and say, make it clear that that was not your intention and I have the right to do so. So I underline how that politics actually takes so little of my time. So people are also interested in that. Oh, why? Oh, we thought we were all political. So forth and so on. But then, of course, one part of my energies goes into getting the things right to both my Turkish and international readerships, that politics is a sort of thing that imposed by bad guys. First, bad guys on me in Turkey, but then to defend myself, I also embraced it in ways, because I have to defend free speech, so forth and so on. So it's not that I went out to be political, but I end up being political, perhaps because of I'm living in a troubled part of the world.
The second last essay, I think, in the book, the Nobel Prize speech. You're angry, almost angry, or maybe even say you're angry with readers.
Yeah, I say I write because I want to understand why I'm so very angry to all of you. Yeah, but what do I mean with that anger? I cannot express you. But then I felt sometimes I felt angry, and that's not the only reason that's mentioned there. There are so many, say, 25 reasons, and one of them was that, right?
It's a manifesto of
why
you as a
we
writer.
write. It's not necessarily me, but why all people write, right? So I don't want to pick up one thing and under the line I write because I am angry to all of you. Yes, there is that kind of sentiment I carry around, and most of the writers I also know have carried this anger, resentment, but one cannot boil it down to, anger to injustice, anger to class or race or gender or this or that. Maybe, but then it's more subtle thing. It comes from deep inside, perhaps. Other troubling things help us to express ourselves, through which we express ourselves. But the anger is the writer's anger is deeper, I think. And in fact, I'm happy that I express my anger as an energy that I feel to write beautiful fiction. That, in fact, that should partly affirm the beauties of life too. I believe that the strength of good fiction comes not only questioning and negation, and also comes from acknowledging the joys of being in this world. Literature is also about, as I wrote here in the introduction, painting the world through words. It's a great joy to get the right word and imagine and make the reader imagine the distinctness of human experience in this world in such a way that words that capture that experience can give us pleasure. This can make us acknowledge the joys of being in this world. Writing is not only passing moral judgments about or moral or critical judgments about them. Is also noticing how interesting to be here.
I found a lot of parallels between the situation of being a writer in Turkey and being a Canadian, because the relationship of Turkey to Europe is a lot like Canada to the United States. You're a very Canadian writer. Is that all right
I
to say?
accept this as a compliment, as in the sense that you feel the presence of a bigger, richer, more arrogant country which is running the world. Mine is Europe in ways. And then you have a sort of a love and hate relationship with it. It's not something you can entirely ignore. It's not something that you want to accept as it is, but it's there. Their presence is disturbing and also interesting in ways. If you call me a Canadian writer in that way, I accept it. Turkey's relationship with Europe probably comparable to Canada's relationship with the United States, but then all comparisons stop at it. In Turkey, there is a basic fact that we make 1/7 of income per capita in Turkey, 1/7 of Europe. What about that? You have here probably making higher than America. So that is the distinction. That in fact the economic injustice, or it's not justice, it's how it is, is always humiliating and makes you even angry. Last 2 or 3 years had been intense years for me, but then these are Turkey is coming to terms with democracy, human rights, things. I strongly believe that things will turn out well for Turkey.
The book is Other Colors, Essays and a Story. I've been speaking with Nobel Prize winner Orhan Pamuk, and Other Colors, published by Knopf Canada.